it ended too soon. Now I know exactly who I am and what I'm here for.
You are a toy, you can't fly.
And I will go sailing no more. But no, it can't be true. I could fly if I wanted to, like a bird in the sky. If I believed I could fly, why I'd fly
To infinity and beyond.
Clearly I will go sailing no more.
Yo, what is up, my Cinedroids? G to the S here. Whoo boy, you saw that clip from one of my favorite Pixar animated movies. You know that clip emulates how I feel about this movie. Plain and simple. Today, I'm going to be reviewing one of the most uninspired corporate sellouts of a film based off of a toy line surprisingly no one has ever played with, unfortunately. Playmobil, the movie. What an original name. Anyways, it's about Marla, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, and her younger brother Charlie, played by Gabriel Bateman, who find themselves magically transported to the world of Playmobil. Joy. While there, they encounter robots, Vikings, knights, pirates, and other colorfully amusing characters. Okay. But when Charlie winds up in the clutches of an evil emperor, what a shock! Played by Adam Lambert, Marla joins forces with a bumbling secret agent, played by Daniel Radcliffe, and an adventurous truck driver, played by Jim Gaffigan. I'll discuss about him momentarily, to rescue her beloved sibling. Gee, I wonder if they will ever get together again. Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna reunite with each other by the end of the film? You tell me. I'm all ears. Come on, guys. You know this type of story by now. It's sadly been done countless times. But I'm not just gonna sit here and say, it's bad, review's over, bye. No, of course I have a ton of things to say about this movie. In fact, this is a review, after all. First off, I'm not gonna lie, the animation looks really pleasant to look at. I like how the Playmobil characters can emote in terms of animating their facial expressions and all that kind of stuff. If I have a couple of good things to say about this mess, is that this whole world that Marla and Charlie are transported in, it does look like a lived-in world at least. The lighting looks nice, the cinematography looks good, and they do look like they're toys that you can play with. So props to STX Films on that. Oh, speaking of cinematography, even the camera work looks good in this movie as well. It only lasts the beginning portion of it and when they finish the movie at the very end. But still, they're not too bad to look at. It's decent enough. Even the direction coaching from Lino DiSalvo wasn't that bad either. I mean, it does get a bit distracting when I hear Kenan Thompson's voice as the pirate Playmobil figure. Oi, getting on my gosh darn nerves. But still, it was okay. Also, in terms of the film's moral message by the end of the film, which is a basic cliche in movies nowadays, but at the same time, it's not harmful to young kids. The moral message is that you can unleash your imagination with a friend or a sibling who's close to you no matter what obstacles get in your way. And that's fine and all, but at the same time, the moral message gets bombarded with a bunch of other crap that's piled on top of it. Now getting the negatives out of the way, and there are a lot to cover, so keep watching. The storyline in this movie is a straight knockoff of Finding Nemo. Charlie gets upset with his older sister Marla about the fact that, spoiler alert, since their parents got killed in a car crash off screen for some odd reason, they never show up in the film at all. But regardless, Marla tells him that they need to adapt and leave all this playdate stuff behind and act like adults for once. But once they discover that one of the Playmobil figures from one of their sets start to move, and once everything comes to life, a Playmobil lighthouse flares at both of them and they get transported to the world of Playmobil and they get separated. So now it's up to Marla to go on a cross-country road trip with Dell, the truck driver, and a few characters along the way, like Rex Dasher, the James Bond knockoff, and the fairy godmother from the Cinderella story, to tag along with her and show her what it means to have fun even if hard obstacles wear her down. Carbon copy of Finding Nemo. Nemo gets separated from his father Marlin, and now he has to pal around with Dory, meet a few characters along the way, and Marlin learns a life lesson about letting go of his son by the time he reaches his main goal. Same story. I feel like one of the writers who worked on this movie, 3 writers who wrote it, said to themselves, well, people like Lego Movie and Finding Nemo became popular. Let's make a movie that is like that and not try on the story whatsoever. Poor business decision. In terms of how it was executed, it was one of the most harebrained ideas I've ever seen on screen. Even the characters were not well developed, starting with the worst comic relief character, Dell. Oh my gosh! He became very annoying real fast during the halfway point. To me, he's as worse as High Five from the Emoji Movie. In terms of the movie's amount of comedic jokes, he's just one of those comic relief characters who tries really hard to be funny, but just comes off as cringeworthy, awkward, and mind-numbingly irritating. If they would just remove him out of the film, it would be no different whatsoever. That would have been a better movie-going experience. But no, she had to tag him along because kids love dumb slapstick, right? Shame on you. Also, I just now realized this is a musical as well. For what I saw in the trailers, it didn't look like it was going to be. But once the orchestra segues itself into a musical number, like at the first few minutes in the movie, for example, as soon as Marla started singing, I was like, oh boy, it's one of those movies again. Now, don't get me wrong, I love animated musicals, like The Lion King and The Prince of Egypt, for example. But those two movies have musical numbers that are very catchy and memorable. Catchy melody, brilliant lyrics, and memorable toe-tapping rhythm to it that helps move along with the story. But here, all the songs are incredibly rushed, the lyrics were cringeworthy, the melody sounded childish, and they didn't help move along with the story at all. They're just there because they don't have to try and make it sound memorable, and we just want to make the money. Well, that certainly backfired, I'll tell you that much. Also, the amount of emotion in the film wasn't all that impactful for me either. They never take their time to flesh out the characters in a clever way. Even at times where both Charlie and Marla, while separated, contemplate their mistakes towards each other, I feel like that was rushed in to save time. Even when they apologized to each other, it felt like an afterthought just to throw that in, just to drive home the moral message to young kids by the end of it. And with that said, guys, in the end, I think you can surmise how I feel about Playmobil the movie. It was generic, it felt rushed, it had a ton of cliches, the characters went from forgettable to nails on a chalkboard irritating, and the musical numbers were unoriginal and boring. In short, I did not have fun with this movie at all. It crushed my inner child within myself. And as a result, I rate Playmobil the movie 1.5 stars out of 5. Don't you even think about wasting your time watching this movie. It's just not worth it. Watch Toy Story and the Lego Movie instead. Those movies are way better. So Playmobil the movie. You've seen it, right? Well, let me know in the comments which animated movie based off of a toy line would you prefer. That would be interesting to know. But if you like this video and you want to see some more, make sure that like button shines in your face. That'll totally help me out a ton. Also, share it with your family and friends and favorite it. That's a very good way to show support for this review. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell right next to you so you can be notified of future videos that I have in store for you. Also, if you want a shout out in a future video, just follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and I will choose one of my Cinedroids to be displayed as a shout out. The link's in the description below. And also, if you want to subscribe to my gaming channel, there's a link in the description or at the icon card in the top right corner of your screen. Go over there, subscribe, and let's have fun together. But until then, I'll see you next time. Peace out.